What's up, guys? It's Gardy B with the Jenkins and Jonez show. As always, I'm here with my good internet buddies, Dragonfly Jones, a.k.a. Tyler.
What's up, guys?
Jethro Jenkins, a.k.a. John.
What's up, bubbas? And if you fuck with us, you want to see more of our content, please jump on YouTube and subscribe to our channel.
2000, 2008, 2022. When it comes to the economy, those are some scary years, fellas. The dot-com crash, housing crash, and the roller coaster we're going through right now. One thing is certain, it's a dangerous time to not know your numbers, but over 31,000 businesses have the confidence and clarity they need because they rely on NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. If you're listening to this, you know that I run a small nonprofit called the 562. I know very much how important it is for small businesses, businesses of all sizes, to be on top of their finances online. And that's why NetSuite is such a great system for us. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, planning, and budgeting, so you can manage risk, get reliable forecasts, and improve margins. Everything you need all in one place. So how do you prepare for uncertain times? The answer, NetSuite. NetSuite helps you identify rising costs, automate your business processes, and easily see where to save money. That's why 93% of customers say they improved their visibility and control when they upgraded to NetSuite. So what are you waiting for? Right now, NetSuite is offering one-of-a-kind flexible financing program. Head to netsuite.com/JandJ right now. netsuite.com/JANDJ. That's netsuite.com/JandJ. All right. I was talking to Jackson before we started recording, and I would guess you guys are on the same page as me. I think this is going to be a fun episode because actually I think the three of us disagree about some. There's been some discord in the group chat. There's some issues we come down on opposite sides of, but I think one thing we all agree about is very tired of talking about Kyrie and the Nets. And very honestly, I personally am feeling just very glad that he's back playing, and hopefully we can kind of turn the page. And move on from asking basketball people to talk about anti-Semitism, etc. I don't think it's been a productive conversation. I think all of the juice has been squeezed out of the orange, but he did play last night. Didn't have a great game, but the Nets did win and look good. Before we talk about any of the other stuff around it, like Jaylen Brown, which I think will be a more enjoyable conversation, you guys have any final thoughts on Kyrie and the Nets and returning to play or any of that?
I'm where you're at. I think that I'm ready to close the chapter on the Kyrie aspect of this story, but it's not that simple. It's not that neat and tidy. My whole thing, the whole issue I took with Kyrie during all this shit is, bro, you have a huge platform and the shit that you're putting out there is irresponsible, it's reckless, it's dangerous, right? Like, I was not someone who was on the whole, yeah, Kyrie needs to pay for this. We need the iron fist to come down on him. Like, I didn't give a fuck about any of that. I'm not a fucking police officer, right? I didn't care about that. Like I said, my whole shit was, bro, you're platforming some shit that is harmful, that is toxic, that's a vile ideology that can affect people in real life ways. And, when Kyrie was handed those stipulations, he went through them all, checked off all his boxes, seems genuine in his apologies, seems genuine, took all these meetings, seriously. And from, what we've heard from Joe Sign and the likes is that, this is a guy who took this seriously and went above and beyond to try to, get things right and kind of, fix his thinking here, because this wasn't the Kyrie that we saw before the suspension. The Kyrie that we're seeing now. The Kyrie that we saw before the suspension was someone who was doubling down on this shit. And that was like my whole thing with Kyrie. It's like, bro, we know that you are on this whole self-enlightenment journey, right? But when you do that, you have to have a teachable spirit at that with that, right? You cannot be curious and closed-minded at the same time, because then shit like this is going to happen. When people tell you, bro, you made a really wrong fucking turn here, and let us tell you why, you can't be closed off to that shit if you're genuinely, if you are genuine about this whole enlightenment journey and bettering yourself and learning more about yourself. You cannot be, closed-minded like Kyrie was before that. And it seems that maybe he's learned from this, because like I said, I've seen the apologies, the stuff he said to the media. It seems like a genuine dude who's like, yo, I got this wrong. I talked to some people, apologies, right? It seems genuine. But like I said, I think the Kyrie chapter is closed, but like, bro, that Pandora box has been open. Like, it's so many people who have just been exposed to this ideology now who are just kind of on board. Like, we saw the whole, the Hebrew Israelites coming out like 30, 40 deep at Barclays to support Kyrie.
Even though only 30, 40?
Might have been about 50,
They
70
look like
of
the
them
Muslims
motherfuckers.
and they look like NOI and fucking,
Right.
you know what I'm saying,
Like-
in the 60s, bro.
And that's the thing, like, bro, this is the shit that we were trying to tell you, Kyrie. Even if you walk it back, there are going to be people who cling on to that shit and will not walk it back with you, like we saw tonight. So, like I said, if it feels like Kyrie is going to come out a better person than this, but I don't know, man. We'll see what the actual fallout is. I hope we don't see it, because it would be fucking terrible if we, just the correlation there. But I don't know. If it feels like I said, it feels like that Pandora's box was open where so many new people got introduced to this toxic, vile, faulted bullshit ideology, and like I said, that what comes of that is yet to be seen.
Is the documentary like a direct reflection of the belief system? Because the people that I know that are like, you know what I'm saying, Black Israelites, they don't express anti-Semitic beliefs to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder if that's like the foundation of it, but I have nothing really else to say about it. You know,
Right,
what I mean, I agree with
you and I have talked about this. Like,
yeah.
We know a lot of Black Israelites. I've never heard any of them quote Hitler the way that the documentary did.
Never.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Right.
So I don't know if that, like, the belief system is, an issue. I think I know a lot of people who, follow that and don't necessarily believe in that anti-Semitic or the Hitler part of that shit. But I think what you're talking about, how he's curious and he's trying to, he's in a place where he's on a journey, but he's also being closed-minded. But I think a lot of it is just like not understanding too, because he was talking about when they were saying like, he's asking if he's anti-Semitic. He was saying, I can't be anti-Semitic because he believes in this, he has his belief system. And it's like, that's not how you respond to this shit. I hope he realizes you have to give context now. You know what I mean? And I think one thing with Kyrie, like we saw him like donate $65K to Shanquella Robinson. You know what I'm saying? I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I've ever really questioned. I've always wondered like where Kyrie's head is. You know what I'm saying? I think that's our issue, and we never really questioned his heart. But if you're gonna go about doing these things, at least give context to the shit. But respect to that, what he did with donate that money too, because and he's always done shit like that. But that was my issue with Kyrie, where the confusion began. You know what I mean? Where I was taking up for him because I always saw he was making good decisions as far as like where he putting his money, and he's always seemed like he's about what he's talking about. You know what I mean? But with the Alex Jones shit, and then like this situation where he's not really giving context and stuff. I even went to the barbershop. I told y'all, I showed y'all the video. As soon as I walked in, they playing that shit. You know what I mean? And I was talking to him like, yo, if you were to do this shit, would you not give context to what you were talking about? Would you give the background? I was like, if you're using Hitler as a fucking, there's so many fucking, Hitler didn't fuck with us. You know what I'm saying? So why are we using him as an example in documentaries?
And even if he had, not a great dude to have on the team.
Not a great dude.
Right.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, and he was like, yeah, that's you right. You know what I'm saying? So like, bro, I never had an issue with the belief system. You know what I mean? It was just how, like, sharing that documentary, not giving context, and not, say, yo, this is what I meant with that. You know what I'm saying? This is where I was coming from. Fuck the Hitler shit. Yeah, that's dead ass. Yeah. That's some bullshit, But that's where I'm at with it.
The whole thing has just sort of been deeply shitty, in my opinion. There's no question that there's been media members and white liberal basketball fans who the shaming or humbling of Kyrie Irving was very much an end in and of itself for them. Right. Even if I happen to agree that he did something shitty that he should have given a genuine
I'm not on
apology
the nigga
for,
side, and that was very weird. You know what I'm saying?
Sucked, and I'd be very happy to put it in the rearview mirror for sure.
I've never been on the opposite side of so many of my friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this has not been an enjoyable. I was just sending you guys a couple of screenshots of things, right? It's like it's not been fun, bro.
and it's like explaining, yo, like, I hated that shit, bro. But I mean, we had some good conversations about it with my homies, you know what I'm saying, and shit like that. And my boy,
I had a conversation.
You know what I mean? As much as I joke about it.
I had a conversation I told y'all with our Shar and I's friend who's a rabbi, who he went to Poly with us. And he was like at Poly with friends of like, he had the same friends that I had, right?
Yeah.
And he called me after I tweeted about the Chappelle thing, and he was hurt. He was like, I'm seeing like crazy stuff from people we went to high school with. Like, stuff that really like surprised and hurt him. He's like, I thought anti-Semitism was pretty cut and dry.
Right.
Like, I didn't think we were gonna blow the dust off that shit, you know? So yeah, man, I'll be happy to put this shit in the background.